What is up, guys? Welcome to Tea Time with Pittsburgh Weiss Schwartz. And by that, I mean we're doing something a little bit different today. We are going to be attempting to explain our deck building thought processes using the Star Wars set, which none of us are familiar with at all. We have just been looking at it a little bit for the past couple minutes here. I'm here today with Andy and Carmen.
What up?
Hi.
And yeah, let's get right into it. We're clearly playing Obi-Wan Kenobi waifu though.
Oh god.
Is Obi-Wan even in this set?
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
There's like 2 cards or something. I don't know.
So, I guess we should start with what we're using. So, the main deck building tool that's available right now, depending on when you're watching this, sometime in the future, is EncoreDecks.com. They have both English and JP sets available. Pretty much everything that's out there is in Encore Decks at this point. But yeah, so
I can't take it. Just seeing Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi on a fucking White Shorts card.
yeah, it's a lot to take.
It's insane.
So
we love Obi-Wan.
on this channel, we don't talk a lot about JP, but I think that it was important in doing this kind of video for us to like kind of pick a set that none of us were familiar with, to really show our process, deck building process from like the bottom up. Like, because I think deck building is one of those things in Weiss where it's not like Magic or other games where people say like, oh, like what are the ratios? What are my curve? Like, how do I do it? Like, it's very different from other games. So I think like showing sort of like the whole process start to finish is like something that's pretty valuable. So yeah, starting out, I mean, you can go to Encore Decks. You can look at all the things they have available here. Some of the Japanese sets also already have like English translations up. But if they don't, and you're working with it, or if you're in English, so there are a couple other tools you can use. You can use Heart of the Cards, and I'll show you exactly how to get to it. So you can click on Weiss Schwartz right here. You can go to Card Search is what we like to do. And let me zoom in here for you guys. If we go to the hot seat Card Search, you can scroll down and find what set you're building in. We're going to pick Star Wars. And then you can set it to like 20 per page, so you can still see the images. And then search cards. And if you pull these up, you can see these are all the cards in the set. And it shows you a little picture, shows you everything that's going on about it. Really lets you see like sort of the whole set at a glance. And I'm sure you guys can already see a big problem in our deck building here, which is this Force Awakens trait. But if you're doing something in English, you have a lot better tool to use, which is on the official Weiss site. You can go to card list and detail search. And you can get sort of a similar result set. I have Fate Heaven's Feel up here just to show. And you can search on like card text and keyword on the cards if you're trying to find stuff like brainstorms and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we don't really have a tool for that in Japanese, so we're kind of flying with just Encore Decks and part of the cards here. But it's still pretty useful stuff. Those are something to keep in mind while you're deck building. This is sort of like what we're going to be referencing as we go through when we're saying like, oh, we're finding brainstorms, we're finding top ends and stuff like that. So getting back to like the actual process, right? I think we were talking about it before the video started. We kind of like to look at level 3s and level 1 combos. Somebody wants to get into why?
Yeah, the first thing I like to do, or I guess most people probably do when they're building a Weiss Schwartz deck, is to figure out what combos you're running. Usually those are at level 1 and level 3. I guess mostly because every Weiss Schwartz deck includes 8 climaxes. So
yeah.
those need to be relevant in some way.
Yeah, and I think most decks, like you see, are running 4 and 4, and that's for good reason. You want to have like a high level of consistency for climax combos. They are naturally mechanics that require you to have 2 different cards at once. So you want high consistency.
The climax combos in Weiss Schwartz are like insane at generating card advantage. Like coming from Magic into Weiss, being able to just like in your mid game just super easily get multiple +3, +4, like almost for free is like insane. And I think that's something that a lot of Weiss players take for granted maybe, but
yeah, no, I agree. So getting right into it here, if we're talking about level 1s and level 3s, where do we want to start? We want to start with level 1 here, sort of walk through what we're looking at.
Yeah, let's take a look at what we have at level 1 as far as combos are concerned to start, I think.
Well, real quick, before we get into that, I think it's important to highlight sort of like while you're looking through all the cards in the set and you're scrolling through all these here, and you're sort of like taking stock of what you have in the whole set, I think it's important to note like sort of patterns within the set that you're seeing. Star Wars makes this pretty easy for us. So there are like 3 big things here. A lot of the cards care about like color over trait, which is pretty interesting compared to other Weiss sets. There's the Force mechanic, which is unique to Star Wars. And then there's also the sort of like Force Awakens versus everything else split that we're seeing. Like Force Awakens kind of stands by itself. So just things to keep in mind while we're deck building. But yeah, moving on, let's look at these level 1s.
I'm really upset there's no Obi-Wan Kenobi level 1.
Oh, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
Oh wait, no, there is. He's a 1/1.
There's a 1/1.
Yeah, that's the one I was laughing at. So do you guys want to, like, as we were saying earlier, do you want to go through all the level 1 combos?
I don't think so. I think
You don't think we need to?
I think that in looking at all of these,
Or maybe like the few that we're debating between.
so the first that we're looking at is this Han Solo here. What is it? Captain of Millennium Falcon 1 Solo. He's your classic 1/0. He goes to 6k on your turn, and then with the shot, which is mission, as long as you have the Tables Return Chewbacca, which is actually an Apple Bond to this card, which gives him 1,000 power. So he's swinging at 8k. You look at 3 and you add 1, and you can add anything. It could even be a climax. And it's not restricted by any color. It just requires that you have this Apple Bond card on field.
Yeah, it is interesting that you need 2 pieces. You need 2 characters plus the climax in order to get this off. That might screw you over occasionally. For example, if you draw 3 Han Solos and the climax, but you can't find the Chewbacca for your life, for example.
What other level 1s do we have here to choose from? There's the Finn level 1, right?
He's only for he's if you're running Force Awakens straight.
He's only Force Awaken. He's a Shimakaze for Force Awaken. Green, I think all we have is the Jabba combo, which pulls out the Cantina ban.
That we should play that.
Yeah, this is a horrific combo. This is like you pay 1, you clock yourself 1, you sack this, you quote unquote +2, but they're cost bombs, which means they don't hold field, and it's off bag. Like there's just nothing good about the combo. I think in red was the only
You
thing
have
that
the
really,
on reverse salvage Darth Vader.
Yeah,
and it's
Stained
off a
with Evil.
gate too, a 1k1.
Any character, yeah.
Yeah, so not color or trait restricted, which is important.
Gets up to 7k. Yeah, that might be worth playing. It's definitely worth considering.
Yeah.
I think I said this earlier too, but I think as we go through this deck building process, I know that a lot of Star Wars decks tend to be like 4 color, and if we find ourselves getting strained on color, it might be easier to just run the Darth Vader combo at level 1
just
instead of like the
because he's
Han
red.
Solo or something a bit greedier.
We're going to start with 4 colors and work our way down and eventually just be mono red.
Yeah.
But what about Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah,
Okay, you're right.
what's really
Red-
in
red,
blue
blue.
here?
Red, blue.
I think blue is the color that locks itself out the most. The Trial Deck Ray here is sort of a pay 1 on attack. You get the ability to draw a card, and you go to like 9k. That's kind of terrible.
Yeah. Then you're trait locked to Force Awakens in order to get the power boost.
The
Like
other
at least it hits 9k, but I mean Han Solo hits 9k.
The other one is this counterattack Luke here, which is swinging at 7, unless Return of the Jedi. Somebody check that. Is that a 1k one?
It's a Stoxel.
Okay, so it's a 6k on attack, reveal top, and if it's blue or a lightsaber, which is also a blue card, add to hand.
It's another non-selective combo.
And
Yeah.
it locks you into blue. So that also kind of sucks. So we really, from what we're looking at here, for level 1 combos, we really only have Han and Darth Vader.
Right.
That's all we have to choose from. So let's look at the.
I'm looking at these lightsabers though. Like the lightsaber events are pretty decent. There's 2 of them. The first one, you need 2 blue characters. It's a 1/0 backup, and then you get a draw 2, ditch 2. That's actually like pretty solid. So you could do it your turn if you want to, and then it gives you like a ton of filtering power too. And if you consider that like mill power also.
Yeah, but we're definitely not going the Force Awakens route. So.
Yeah. I think Force Awakens at this point we can already see is way too. It's locking us in way too hard. Looking sort of at level 3s, let's go through. Let's run down our options here in terms of climax combos. So we got the,
for finishers.
Yeah, for finishers, we got the Leia. She gives a soul and she gives a soul to something and like on cancel burn 1, which is like kind of
okay.
It's like all right.
What's she combo with? Is she off a shot?
No, she's Metal Ceremony.
Yeah, it's a yellow Stoxel.
Okay.
Oh man, if that was like 8 shot and you get cancel burn, that'd be pretty cool.
There's Boba Fett, which is a clock kick off bar.
The clock kicks the back
And
row,
he
or
can
clock.
he can attack the back row, but it's a pretty steep cost. There's the Darth Vader. What is this? Dark Sith Lord, which is kind of like Mikasa with a big cost. You like burn ones on attack, burn ones on reverse. That's pretty good. Of a Stoxel. I think this is like probably the most destructive one.
And he's got force, yeah.
And then in blue we have, what is this here? We have the Dream Chasing Youth, which is a restander for pay to pitch a blue character. So this is for the blue deck. He markers a lightsaber.
Wait, which one is this? Luke?
Luke.
Dream
yeah.
Chasing Youth.
There's a Ray combo too, isn't there?
Yeah, so the Ray combo is the Force Awakens combo. If I can find it here. Awakening Ray. And if you marker a lightsaber, she gives -1 soul to the character facing her. And then when you climax combo, you look at 2 cards from the top of the deck, add 1, and then you get an additional -soul to the character facing her. So it's a -2 soul.
That doesn't target either.
It doesn't target, but running Force Awakens seems a pretty steep cost, especially when they only have 1 level 1 combo.
I mean, this isn't restricted to Force Awakens, though.
But I mean, if you're running lightsabers, you're restricting yourself to either mono blue or Force Awakens at that point.
Which is a
looks
problem.
like it's a pants. So
unless you can like set up like your back row with double Force Awakens or something, you know what I mean? Because you need 2 characters on the field with the trait.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be easier than you would think, but I don't think this is a strong enough payoff card. Regardless.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda's blue. How isn't he green? What the hell? I think we should pick our
zeros.
I like starting with my finisher before level 1 combo.
Finisher?
I like picking my finisher first and then picking a level 1 to coordinate with it.
I think that we should be optimistic and pick Darth Vader as our
I think
finisher.
we 100% play the Darth Vader finisher, yeah.
I think that's very strong. Burning 1 on attack, burning 1 on reverse. At no matter what cost, because he's off Stoxel, I think that's a good place to start at.
You can't go wrong with Mikasa.
Alright, so let's start with 3.
3 Darth Vaders, yeah.
And let's throw, what is he? I Am Your Father. Dear God. As our climax. So we're going to have 4 I Am Your Father, 3 Darth Vader to start. Alright, so let's jump right into our zeros. So when you're looking for zeros for your deck, I think a great way to start is to try to add 6 to 8 what we like to call beaters. So these are cards that are meant to do battle or dodge battle. And when we talk about like plussing zeros, so plussing zeros are something that either lives on field, either through big power or some form of like quote unquote evasion, or is like something like a Ricky, right? Where it's not a drop search, which is a filter, something that just straight pluses you. So let's look at sort of like field plussing zeros here in the set. What do we got here? I think the big one I'm seeing right now in yellow is this the Han Solo free runner. If you have 3 or more climax in your waiting room, you have to clock yourself 1. There's like kind of a non-cost.
Well, it takes away some of its late game value. Like if you just want to play a shitter and attack with it, that could be kind of.
That's true.
That's pretty bad. I'm actually really not a fan of that, just because like the long term value isn't great on that.
I do want to consider it. I need to see what other options we have.
Like runners are definitely good. I think it's definitely a consideration, but
yeah, for sure.
I'd maybe just rather run an oversized than running this card that I'm not going to be able to play later in the game necessarily on my, if I'm in a shitty spot.
Agreed.
Well, we have this tables is turn Chewbacca here. Pay 1 bond to the Han Solo climax combo. So I guess that's technically plussing. That adds from waiting room.
Yeah, but, so if we're playing the Han Solo level 1, we absolutely run this.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
Well, because it needs it, yeah.
Neck and neck battle Han Solo. When this is played from the stage, number of climax in your opponent's waiting room is 3 or more. Rest this card. Is that better or worse than the runner? In terms of field plus?
Good question.
I think they're both kind of shitty.
They're both bad. They're both
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really not great.
Why do all these cards have some like shitty bad condition that makes you clock yourself or something? Like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Let's look at green. Green has a bunch of like completely unplayable cards. So a big theme I think here with the brainstormers is like most of them just only search your deck for green cards on hits, which means they're like search your deck for color card, which it means they're unplayable in our deck where we're just trying to play good cards.
That locks us into I think the Darth Vader brainstormer was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in green, in terms of like beaters, all we have is this clock bomb, the Bosch's true identity Leia,
Yeah.
where it's also like pay one to card filter. So like I don't know, that's not really a beater. Look at red.
Just card.
I mean, it is a bomb, so it is.
I
technically
consider
a beater.
bombs to be beaters because they disincentivize your opponent from attacking into it, so it's
this
more likely to live to your turn.
this Kylo Ren is super spicy here. This removed mask, Kylo Ren. He's like a waiting room Ricky when he catches a reverse for any character, completely unrestricted, not even by level, and he's a level 0 bomb.
I think that's
He's only
I think
1,000 power.
I think he definitely gets run.
that's playable. Yeah.
Okay.
It holds field at 0 and it's a plussing Ricky. Kind of serves two roles. What about beloved partner C3PO?
C3PO.
Beloved partner.
If there's a climax revealed among those cards, rest this card. You got a mill 2.
I don't know. Is this the oversized that we play?
Well, that's actually more poking fun at the name of the card, but it's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Like, I run that Uzuki in Idol Master, and I mean, you kind of just play it down, and if you mill a climax, you just put it in the back row and play something else. It's
What
like
else we got?
serviceable. It's not great though.
Oh, they have a clean cut.
Oh, do they?
Light side Luke. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if the number of cards in your stock is 3 or less, choose one of your other characters, rest it, move it to an open position on your backstage. It also has force. Do we really want to call light side Luke like a field plussing?
Oh, how about
hero?
this? Check this out. Brave supporter C3PO. Can't side attack, and when you play him, he gets 1500 power till the end of your opponent's turn. So he goes to 4K.
He's 4K for just
Okay.
one turn.
That might be relevant enough, actually. There's no significant downside. I guess he can't side attack. That's
Who cares? Like, power doesn't matter later in the game anyway, and like if I'm playing a 0 later in the game, I don't care about its power. And this is like the only 0 I've seen so far that doesn't shoot yourself in the foot.
right. That won't gimp itself potentially.
Oh, wait a second. Long sleep, R2D2. If you do not have any other characters on your center stage, this gets 1500 power. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this card to an open position of your center stage. It's free runner.
There we go.
Is this really it?
It has to be the only character in your front row, but
It's fine. It's a
Yeah,
great
it's-
opener.
it is an extremely solid opener. I'll give it that. Yeah.
Is this the better opener compared to Han Solo runner, which is just a 2500 free runner if you don't whiff, versus this having to be the only card on your center stage?
Yes. Better opener than Han Solo, absolutely.
Do we just
I
want to
would
run?
say-
Do we just want to
I would
run
say
for
this much. I think if we do run the Han Solo runner, I think it's not a 4 of. I think it like is maybe a 2 of. Well,
Eh,
because runners are good, but like later in the game, it's not as good. Whereas you can always just play this R2D2.
At least you can just play this and crash it. Or, I mean, at worst, what is it? Wait. So, this is just a 2K free runner.
yeah.
Look at it that way. This is just a
Oh.
2K free runner.
Yeah. This card. We play this card.
Okay, so we play 4 long sleep.
This card doesn't force clock you.
Okay, we're going to play 4 long sleep, RTD2. Okay, so what other beaters are we looking for then? Are we just going to run a lot of runners to kind of set up our level 1 since they're both the ones we're thinking about are on reverse? Do we just like run some number of Han Solo runners?
I
The
think-
Jedi Master Yoda is interesting.
I think we play the Kylo bomb.
What?
Oh yeah, Kylo Bomb for
Kylo
sure.
Bomb.
He is a bomb that holds
the
field.
problem is the other ability, despite it being so it can add anything, but he has to reverse to do it, and he can only reverse level 0s. The implied like ability to grab anything doesn't mean much when he won't do anything throughout the rest of the game.
You have a point there.
Mhm.
Here's another thing too. Like if we were gonna run the R2D2 Ricky, how many Rickies are we really gonna run? You know what I mean?
Well, he has
Love 2+.
the 3-2 Luke that is the payoff card for running that over some other Ricky needs it to be in clock, so I think we run 4.
Yeah. Meaning I don't think we run Kylo.
Okay, so we're just saying are we just gonna throw that in there now? We're just gonna run 4 R2D2s because the
If we're
Luke
planning
is
on
really
playing
good.
the Luke early play.
Okay. All right. So we're at 8. We're at 8 level 3s or level 0s.
Oh, well, we need the Darth Vader brainstorm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Darth Vader brainstorm.
Probably like 3 or 4. Probably 3.
We're gonna start with 3.
I think 3 is a
What's
good
his
start.
first effect?
The
When
Betty
something
effect.
becomes reversed. Okay, yeah.
500 power. Which
So
is
it's important when you're deck building to always think about your brainstormer. Whether you are a deck that wants to have 2 brainstormers in the back row or 1. If you're a 1 brainstormer in the back row deck, it's safe to usually go down to 3. But if you're a 2 brainstormer in the back row deck, like some like variants of Bang Dream and stuff like that, you probably want to go for 4. And it really depends on your playstyle. If you say like I'm not a good enough player to draw my brainstorm, you might want to run 4.
My thought on the discussion point you brought up about like how many brainstormers to run. I don't think it's so much about wanting to double brainstorm, but I think it's like how much do you really want a brainstormer? That's like
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. It's
Mhm.
like sometimes like I'm playing a deck that plus is just fine on its own, and I don't want to be beating on my stock too hard. So I don't necessarily need to have a brainstormer all the time.
Right. Yeah. For example, I run 3 brainstormers in Persona 5, which I guess might be a bad example because it's a Rest 2 brainstorm, but you don't really need a brainstorm so much in that deck because you're really just looping calling card all game.
Whereas say maybe like an older deck that doesn't have as good of plussing tools, you kind of need to just run 4 brainstormers. Here's a thought too. Because Star Wars is such a color dependent set, maybe we like move on to another level, and then once we figure out like what colors we're lacking, we come back to zeros and kind of pick something in that color that's good enough. Maybe with a more conventional deck we would finish the zeros up, but I think for Star Wars specifically, because it is so wonky with its color distribution,
What else
like
do
we can kind of use the rest of the zeros to fill the gaps for our color fixing.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
So as we move on to level 1, I think it's worth noting that as we look at red, right? Because the big thing we're in between here is whether we're going to go red or yellow for level 1. Because I don't think we're really considering much else. Is that all these other level 1 red cards require you to have like full fields of red, where it's like the number of your other red characters is 3 or more. It get power for the number of other red characters.
Mhm.
So whereas Darth Vader stained with evil does not exactly require a color requirement, every other level 1 card that you'd want to run does. These all are really incentivizing you to run red, whereas we're just trying to run things that are good. I think that alone kind of forces us towards Han, right?
I disagree with that actually.
I guess
Really?
that raises the question: Are there reasonable yellow level ones that we could run in addition to Han Solo if we went the yellow route instead?
They're all sort of the same. What is this? They have this Lando that's like a 1/1. It's like a silica. They have a 7k on attack. Ewok, which is like those are both 3 or more yellows. They have a Chewbacca that's just a 1065. It can't attack things that are higher level.
I think I know blue also has a Luke like that.
Yeah, yeah, they're all
Here's
kinda
my
the
opinion
same.
on it. I don't think it's worth going into yellow with this deck. I feel like the only potential payoff, like I would consider the Han Solo combo and the level 1 Darth Vader combo to be roughly equivalent. So I think those are kind of interchangeable. And then looking at what else we get from yellow, like if we're straining ourselves to go into 4 color, what are we getting from it?
Well, I don't
And
think we're going at 4 color at this point because we're not running green.
Aren't we? I wouldn't mind having the Jabba at level 3.
Maybe, I don't know. At level 3, I really like this Han Solo Musashi. I feel like this card's like really, really broken. It's a Musashi that can give itself soul and power and like swing at 12k and be 3
But I
soul.
mean, it's just a Musashi. I feel like if the only payoff card for going yellow is a Musashi, I just don't know if it's worth straining our
I
color
don't
pie.
think it's just that. I think that in a deck where we are 3-color, the fact that our level 1 can be apple bonded to is pretty strong. Tables have turned, Chewbacca. You apple bond. So, like, and we're talking about an on-reverse combo. The Han Solo is base swings for 8k, whereas the, what is it? The Darth Vader only swings for 7.
It's good enough.
I guess, but, I mean, neither of them hold field. What is the, I believe the Vader is, like, on play power? Yeah, the Vader's on play power, whereas the Han Solo is on attack power. That means you could, like, feasibly recur the Han Solo. Because he'll sit at 5k cross turn.
For me, I would need to see other payoff cards in yellow. And again, like, yeah, apple bonding is a plussing level 1, but so is the 4 R2D2 Rickies we're running. That's also a pay 1 plus. Like, our finisher is this Darth Vader, and it requires a shitload of stock. Like, how often do we want to actually pay 1 over the course of the game?
Well, if we're talking about going into green, and we're talking about level 1s, we should probably talk about C3PO. I feel like this is the card that would make our stock crunch less of a problem. And then it also, like, the 2k backup in the set is yellow and requires you to have 4 or more stock to be a 2k backup.
There's a red backup, a 2500 red backup.
Is it a 1-1?
Well.
Is it? Yeah,
A 1-1.
Yeah, the other one's a 1-0. If we're playing Vader, I think we definitely play the C3PO. He helps fix our stock crunch here.
Oh, when this opponent becomes reversed. Oh yeah, shit, that's a really good ability.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, because it can't exactly go cross turn, but on your turn you can stock charge yourself.
Like on turns where you're not brainstorming, this could be another good card to sit in the back row too with your brainstormer. And on turns when you don't brainstorm, you can get a free stock.
It gives it to anything. Like
also notable is that if you use the ability to give the stock charge, you also give yourself 3000 power.
Yeah, and it works off backups. So, okay, so even in the chance that you whiff the 4 or more stock, if you back this up, he's backing up to 7-5.
But I feel like we would need another. We'd need like a good's a strong word. I feel like we'd need another playable green 0.
I think
we want to have like a.
Pretty sure that's this Leia.
We play the Leia bomb, yeah.
I don't know, Brian. What are your thoughts on this? Me and Carmen have kind of set our opinions on the level 1.
Forth.
So about the C3PO specifically, or?
I think we all like the C3PO. I think the debate is, do we want Han Solo or Darth Vader at level 1?
Like Carmen was saying, that really just devolves into, do we want to play yellow or do we just want to stay in red?
I think
we're already red-blue and potentially red-blue-green.
But Carmen also did. I haven't looked through these cards.
None of us have really.
Yeah, very. From what I'm seeing from red, like across the board, they want you to have a full field of red, which we're just never going to have.
Right, and
which is what pushes us into yellow. It's like our finisher is red. Like, I think the idea of our deck here is that we don't want to hit red until level 3. And I think because blue kind of fixes itself, the only blue card that's not a 0 that we really want to play at this point is the Luke early play. I think
that's true. You just need to clock the
the
R2, and then you have blue.
It fulfills its own condition, yeah. And like we're running this R2 runner because it's just better than the other one, like at the outset.
Does the Luke heal on play? Does he heal off the R2?
No, he does not heal off the R2. So you can play multiple of him. Yeah, that's my big problem with red in general. Like, other than the Vader finisher, they all want you to have multiple red characters on board, which we're just not going to be able to do. Even if we are running the Vader gate combo, I feel like we'd still have, like, if we're going to be red-green at level 1, we're going to have a lot of, you're going to have C3PO on board.
Yeah.
You might have, like, a blue card in back row. I feel like
I don't think we need to play any of the cards that require you a full red field. I think if we're just playing a good stuff deck, which this kind of seems like what it's turning into, we have a plussing combo at level 1 and then the good finisher with Darth Vader. I don't think we really need. None of the cards we've talked about so far and have considered have to deal with a full field of red.
But that would mean we're gonna run 8 red climaxes. Are we going to be able to play a climax whenever we need to every turn? That's something I like to think about. when we're
That's
talking
True.
about
We'd have to
climax
maybe fix a
spread.
little bit more at level 0 for it. But I mean, there's good options. There's the Kylo Ren. There's surely other cards.
Yeah, so we are running into the problem now where we are being pulled in the direction of
A third
of,
color.
of 4 colors.
Yeah.
We want to run the Luke early play in blue, the Darth Vader finisher in red, the Han combo level 1, and the Luke early play with R2D2.
I think a way to think about this is we don't consider blue an actual color. We can't
I
play the
guess.
Luke. We can't play the Luke without it. And if you're thinking about playing a level 3, a 6 to 7 card splash is more than enough to play a level 3.
especially if you're
I've seen multiple
especially if you're
times.
hoarding the R2D2 in your hand.
So even if we just play the Luke at 3, running 6 to 7 blue cards is fine to play it. And we're already over that because we're running the R2D2 runner instead of
Yeah.
something else.
I guess. I feel like for consistency's sake, we might want to think about cutting down to 3 colors, though.
I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like this
I feel
console-
like we don't need another blue card in the entire deck. I feel like no matter what direction we go, we should not add any single
Yeah.
other blue card unless
No
it's
other
really
blue.
fucking good.
The big problem with green is there's literally one playable level 0.
So if we're going 3 colors, do we cut green? Do we not go green?
What do we gain for going green? We gain C3PO.
We gain just C3PO, yeah.
You get the Jabba at level 3 too, which is like a good off finisher.
Yeah, expensive, but a good off
It's
finisher.
expensive but potentially good. And if we have C3PO,
I mean, you're already building
Helping
stock
us.
for Darth Vader, so if you whiff the thing, you probably already have a lot of stock. I just
notable
don't-
too is that Jabba's like end of turn.
Yeah, he's end of turn, so you can build up to him. And sack off stuff that's already reversed.
And control damage based on how much you need after you've already swung.
Leave your opponent no reverses.
Yeah. Let's just pick one. Let's put it to
Yellow
a
it
vote.
is. Han it is. It's yellow.
You vote
I
yellow.
think yellow.
Okay, I'm voting yellow. So
Just
okay.
just because of the Musashi, I think we need
It's too
I think
it's too stock
stock crunch
efficient.
is too much.
It's a good off finisher to have. So all right, so 4 Han Solo. If we're running Han Solo, we need to run at least 3 Chewbacca.
Yeah, at least 3.
Are we gonna run more than that?
What does he do? He gives 1,000 power to Han and apple
Apple
bonds to
bonds.
him. I think you play 4. I think you play 4 Chewbacca.
All right, we're at 15 zeros. And now if we're gonna run C3PO, we have to run at least 3 green Leias because this is the only playable green card.
Here's
Okay.
something to consider too. If we want to trim the zeros a bit, the Leia bombs also hold field like the R2D2 runner does. We could trim a number of R2D2 runners. Even though it's the best level 0 we can run, as far as color fixing goes, color fixing might be more important.
Yeah.
There's a lightsaber in hand Finn. That's all right.
Where's
That's
that?
not bad at all, actually.
It's the first one on the yellow list.
Just
Light-
level 0 stock bomb, and you on play give 1,000. That's actually pretty decent.
All right, we want to throw that in. Lightsaber.
Okay.
Fan.
Yeah, that's fine.
We have an on reverse combo at 1 also, so it kind of
Alright,
helps you
so-
get there.
2 of those. That's 6. That's 6 yellow, and we're at 19 zeros.
So then also for yellow, where we run a number of Leia backups and a number of Musashis as well.
Looking at the 0 line, we need to pump the Vader Brainstorm to 4 to fix for our finisher.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, so let's put in the Leia backups.
And we need C3POs too, since we're running green.
3 CPOs, right?
I think three's fine.
And let's put the Musashis in. So let's start
Yeah.
with 2. 2 Smuggler Han Solo and 2 Jabba, right?
2 Jabba the Hutt, yeah.
What's Smuggler do?
That's the Musashi. And wait. I gotta put
Oh.
the actual
The-
climax in.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we need Luke, since we're running R2D2 Ricky.
Okay, so Luke is
3 Luke.
3 Luke.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
3 Luke, yeah.
1, 2, 3. All right, we're at 47 cards.
All right, we're almost there. Somehow.
All right, so
What about level 2s?
okay,
That carbon freezing event's pretty decent.
Is there an anti-change?
they have a sack
There's a
counter
ton of 'em.
anti-change in red.
Ugh.
I think it's worth it to just be a sack counter. It's pay 2 sack 1 though. That's so steep.
We're so stock heavy. I'd rather just
Do
play
we
a
run
2-1
X-wing?
bomb.
So X-Wing is reveal top. If it's yellow, add 1. So that'll whiff a lot of the time. However, it turns any of our characters into a on reverse anti-change. And they had to front it for us to be able to play this as a backup. But we can also play this on our turn to make one of our cards anti-change stock bomb. So it like does both at once. Like super spicy.
Maybe.
I'm not a huge fan.
It fixes us for yellow is the big thing here. Do we have a yellow anti-change? Because I'm really worried about hitting yellow at 1 here. Oh, they do have one. Reunion Poe. The stock bomb. 2-1.
I would rather not pay the stock to do like a sack counter. I'd rather just play Reunion Poe.
Yeah, as an option, helps fix for yellow, which is, I guess, our primary color at this point.
Maybe a couple copies of Poe.
I don't think more than 1.
2 max, but I think we stick with 1 because we're already
Maybe we play
48.
one of these and a sack counter, just because the sack counter is also a 2/5 backup, and it's red.
Well, I think we're cutting down on zeros too. Like, I don't think we're staying
okay.
at 20.
Hear me out.
That's true.
The don't be overconfident Dark Vader, the 2/1 backup, is also red, and we only have 7 red in the deck, and we're running a red climax. Maybe that's worth it because it's a backup, and we're running C-3PO.
That's true.
That is a split I see fairly often. Is 1 anti-change counter, 1
Yeah,
anti-change
like
bomb
I'm
in a lot of
thinking
decks.
1-on-1 here. They have a level 3 Slayer. He goes to 13, and he has Force.
So he can bomb out like level 3 back rows.
That
Green.
carbon freezing event's pretty good. It's a 2/1 event counter. You choose one of your characters, it gets encore essentially, and then you choose one of your opponent's characters in battle, and it can't stand next turn. So for 1, you encore something and then prevent them from standing.
So yeah, I guess we're between carbon freezing and another C-3PO. We do only have 9 level 1s.
I think we just run a 4th C-3PO.
I like the carbon freezing.
Carbon
It's like pretty
freezing.
good. It's good at protecting our early play Lukes,
I guess that's true.
and I think it's a better counter than that Darth Vader one, to be honest.
Just in general. Well, I mean, we only have 8. Okay, so my thing for the Darth Vader backup is we only right now have 8 non-climax red cards in the entire deck, and we're running a red climax.
Yeah. Also, carbon freezing, as opposed to the Darth Vader backup, is not an act ability for the sake of C-3PO.
I thought we weren't running the Jabbas. I don't think we run Jabba at level 3.
We
You
don't run
think
Jabba.
so?
I don't think so.
Are we
No,
gonna
I
cut
mean,
him?
I think we're committing to like going for double or triple Darth Vader. We have our Lukes, and then the Musashi also. Like,
Do we
I
just
mean,
wanna
I tend to like to not run extremely high on level 3s, but I just think it's like we're never gonna get Jabba's effect off.
I mean, I think cutting Jabba is fair.
Yeah. Okay. So let's cut Jabba.
Like I think like 4 Darth Vader. I think we should be on 4 of the Darth Vader finisher.
4 finisher. I agree.
Mhm.
I think like 4 Darth Vader, 3 Luke, 2 Han.
Yeah. Because Han's our backup plan, and we're already like we're definitely hitting yellow at 1 at this point.
I mean, we could just
How
run.
how are we fixing for C-3PO here?
It's pray. There's a 1-0 6500 can't attack things higher level than it in blue. That might just be more reasonable, honestly.
What, than C-3PO at this point?
Yeah. Mhm.
Because C-3PO backs up to 65.
Yeah, you could just play
He
something.
stock charges us this though. So okay, so let's think about this. We can stretch ourselves to play green to get something that backs up to 65. But our backup requires us to have 4 or more stock. On the turn that we play C-3PO, we basically can't brainstorm. So is playing C-3PO at that point worth it at all?
At this point, I'm in favor of just cutting green entirely.
This Leia card is like garbage, like generally. Like I don't think this card is good.
Maybe C-3PO is not worth it. Like, I feel like we're stretching ourselves really thin for a card that we're probably not even going to use every turn.
I feel like it's too greedy. It's just too greedy to try to play green. Let's cut green and reevaluate.
I agree.
remove it,
Agreed.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right, so we cut the green bomb. So you said there's in blue.
Yeah,
How
actually,
How about Obi-Wan Kenobi
Where's he
at
at?
level 1? The 1/1.
The 1/1 Obi-Wan.
What is he? If the number of
Our,
the
our
blue
boy, our boy Obi.
Well, he's definitely only going to sit at 45 most of the time, but he can't be reversed by cost zeros. And he has Force.
Yeah, we're not getting the Force off though. He's a blue character. Well, I mean, maybe we are.
Yeah, maybe. We don't want to ditch our R2D2.
I don't know. Maybe he's not that good.
I mean, it's okay.
There's the assassin effect on the C3PO, BB-8, and R2D2.
What, this one?
Oh wait, no, it's by blue characters. Never mind, that card sucks.
Number of blue characters. Yeah, screw that. Yeah, the Luke 6500 can't side attack and can't attack if you have one
Look
or
at
less
that
characters in
art,
your
man.
backstage.
That Luke Skywalker's not bad.
He's okay. You need 2 cards in your back row though in order for him to attack.
I mean,
Hmm.
if we're playing Han level 1,
We're gonna have Chewbacca back.
We don't
we're
really
going to have
Chewbacca's,
Chewbacca
yeah.
back there because he has to be there. Is it really that much of a stretch to say that we have literally any other card?
Well, when I play my Apple Bonds, I don't mind playing the Apple card to the front row with them.
I guess that's true.
As an extra attack. I kind of like to do that.
I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable that we'd have 2 cards in the back row by level 1 though. Especially since we're running what 20 zeros?
We're at 17.
I want to
now.
cut those down.
We cut the green.
Oh, okay. We're at 17 right
We
now.
cut the green entirely. But I mean, if we're gonna run a blue level 1, we should probably put the R2D2 back to 4.
Yeah, we could also just run the 6500, the 106500 Chewbacca in yellow that can't attack characters higher level than it.
Oh,
That's
there's
not
just a
bad.
yellow one.
Yeah, it makes color fixing at level 1 significantly easier. If all
That's
we have to worry
true.
about is yellow.
I mean, this is literally the same effect as the Luke, right?
No, the Luke needs 2 characters in the back row or it can't attack.
But it can't side attack.
And it can't side attack.
This could still side against something that was higher level than it if it had to.
Correct. Yeah,
I think that Chewbacca's better.
the Chewbacca's much better, I agree.
Do we just
Mhm.
run the Chewbacca?
Probably.
What else do we got? Yeah, all we got's the Chewbacca. Do we just throw 3 Chewbacca in here?
Yes.
All right, so we're just pure yellow level 1. We're only trying to hit yellow.
How many of that lightsaber Finn are we running at 0?
What
I
do you
see
mean?
2.
2.
I think that could be a 3 of.
Okay, you mean just because it?
I kind of like that card.
Yeah, I mean our level 1.
I mean, I don't know what we cut for it. I don't know.
Well,
maybe we
our
don't have room
level
for more.
0 currently is really weak power wise. Because our R2D2 is going to drop to 2k the second we do anything else.
I mean, he's a free runner though, so that's almost negligible.
I mean,
I mean, we can dirtle at level 1 maybe a bit too, or level 0.
what can we run that's blue at 2 that's good now? Now that we're just 3 colors. Now that we've just completely cut green.
There's that C3PO backup, the 3K that
I like the
can
sudden
pump something when
attack
you play
Luke.
it.
Sudden attack Luke, the gets big against level 3s and has force. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I feel like we splash one of those in there.
I think that's
We could-
fine.
We could take out the Darth Vader backup for that.
Well, no, I was saying we cut the Poe for that.
The Poe. Which one's
Yeah,
Poe?
because
The
we're talking
the
about
Infuse bomb we were running.
one backup, one R turn way to deal with level 3s.
See, I'd rather have the anti-change bomb and the 3K rather than a overcosted backup.
Well, I'm saying for the I guess for the backup we're not doing. I don't know, dude. Sacking a character on your turn versus your opponent could just win you the game. Versus an on reverse finisher. Sometimes that paying 3 is worth it,
Yeah.
and it fixes us for the big thing. I'm worried about is fixing us for red. We're still at only 9 red cards that aren't climaxes.
Maybe you're right. I guess we do need the red there.
I think we cut the Poe because this
For the-
sudden
for the
attack
Luke.
Luke is really good.
If we're looking at level 3s too, I saw this one earlier. It was like the Emperor level 3.
Which one is that? The
Is it red?
The Emperor. Whenever you use Force, if you stand him, you can rest him and deal 1 damage to your opponent.
A1 rest this card. What does he do? 2,000. All of your red characters in front of this card get 2,000 power. Look at the top card of your deck.
Hey, it's pretty good with Darth Vader.
It is.
But do you want to pay 2 to play a card that's not Darth Vader?
And he
No,
doesn't. His early
guess
play
not.
condition. His early
Yeah.
play condition will never go off.
Yeah, you'll never.
That's such
early
a
play.
sick card. Like, pay 1 Restless when
If
you
we're
ever use
gonna-
Force.
If we're gonna play a red card, I think we just play the Kylo Ren as a 9K. The card facing this gets -1 soul. When the battle opponent becomes reversed, pay 2 ping 1, and it has force.
Yeah, that's okay.
Either that or this reunion and clash. This thing is spicy as fuck.
I'd rather just play another Musashi than that Kylo.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
What does this do? This reunion and clash. Oh, we don't have any healers anymore.
So, maybe we just roll without a healer, you know?
Reunion and clash, though, is super spicy.
Ooh, what's this do?
Early plays for 2 or less climaxes. The number of other red characters you have is 3 or more. This won't happen, but it also has the same thing Luke has. Can't get burned.
If you have 3 red characters,
Yeah, if you have 3,
you're not getting that.
3 other, yeah, you're never getting that. But it does heal you, and it has when it's frontal attack, pay 2, pitch 1, ping 1.
And also, as an early play condition, we can realistically achieve.
Yeah, it's just 2 or less climaxes.
That could be a good one of.
That's reasonable, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, we're still running the Leia backups. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so what other 2/1s are there in red? There's a level assist.
Why are we running the Leia backup without 3PO?
Because we're running these Wookiees roar. We're gonna wall with these.
Hmm.
How many Wookiee roars are we running?
3.
I think 3 right now. Yeah.
What about Snoke? He's a level assist. Ditch a climax, grab a force character.
It does get us our finisher.
Also
Eh,
helps power up our early play Lukes.
That's true.
Yeah, because it can buff anything. Wait, Luke has force too.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it can grab Luke. Maybe
That might be reasonable.
we run that as a red fix? One of?
We can try it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot, actually. Like a level assist. Because we have to catch reverse with Darth Vader to get the other thing. And he only gains
he has
25.
reverse. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a stock soul. Maybe we run that at 2. We run a level assist at 2.
2 level assists. I'd be
2
okay
level
with that.
assists.
Seems reasonable.
Maybe we just run a 3rd Han Solo, and then like we buff up our 0 line somewhere.
A 3rd Musashi.
Yeah, like a 3rd Musashi, yeah. Like a 3rd Han Musashi. So how many red are we at? 4.
I think with the Snokes, we're good on red.
Yeah, with the Snoke.
Like if we could even add like another red level 0. We could add like that Kylo or something, you know? I don't know.
What does the drop searcher do? Or drop salvager? He like mills 3 on play.
He mills 3 and then drops salvages for a red character.
Okay, it's like fairly useless.
Yeah,
later
I
on.
don't think it's good.
Is there like a just generic fucking oversize red card or something?
No, there's a generic. There's a yellow one. As a
Fuck
4K.
yellow.
Maybe we just run another R2D2 because we want to see it turn 0. And then like
The Star Wars Kylo Ren, that's not a bad 0. It's like when you play in Mill 2, if you hit a
It mills 2.
climax,
Hmm.
like 2,500 on his own. Maybe that's a
I don't
good
think-
enough one of to run because he's red.
would we run more of? Would we run another one of those over? I put in another R2D2 just so we see it.
Oh, I mean, R2D2 is way better, but like Kylo's red.
I don't think we need any more red though. We're at what is this? 10, 11 non-climax red. And we're not aiming to play red until really like level 2, level 3. Like we're
Yeah.
yellow all the way until level 2 where we're trying to play like blue.
We're trying to. We try to get yellow going into level 1 maybe, and then try to get like an extra brainstormer or some like a red card in there going into level 2. Then we clock the R2D2.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Seems more reasonable than trying to fix green in there like we had been. Musashi, I think that's fine.
yeah,
I think just like 3 Musashi. Or is that where we're
Yeah.
at now?
yeah. All right, so let me recap the list here. You guys are watching the like screen share or whatever. But
Yeah.
okay, so left to right. We got lightsaber in hand Finn. He is a stock bomb, gives 1,000 power. There's 3 of those. 4 Chewbacca apple bonds. They give 1,000 to our Han Solos. 4 Darth Vader brainstorms. 500 power. One of the other characters reversed. And they salvage brainstorms with self taps. 4 R2D2 Rickies. They give one of our other characters 500 power. And then 4 R2D2 free runners. They have 1,500 power if they're the only character on our center stage. So they're like 3,500 if we drop him going first. Getting under level 1s, 4 Han Solos, 3 Chewbaccas, which are 65s, and 2 Leia backups. Our entire level 1 is yellow, and there are 9 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Supreme Leader Snoke, he has a level assist to characters in front and has Ditch a Climax, salvage a character with Force. Characters with Force include the Sudden Attack Luke, which is a level 3 killer, our finisher, and our early play. All have Force. 2/5 Darth Vader backup, which is also pay an additional 2, sack a character. Anti-early play. Sudden Attack Luke. 1,300 on our turn on attack. Pay 1 picture card Force. And then 3 Han Solo Musashis, 4 Darth Vader finishers, and 3 early play Lukes. And then 4 shots, 4 stock souls.
I think that's okay as a starting point at least.
I think maybe we run 4 early play Luke.
4 early play Luke?
Because he does refund a stock when you play him, like every time.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
The card's really good.
What do we cut for that?
Oh wow, yeah.
Maybe a Musashi.
You go down to 2 Musashi? Or Luke?
Or we could cut a 0. Like, we have a lot of 0s, but I guess we don't have a ton of 1s. I think we could cut a 0 or a Musashi.
The only cuttable 0 is Finn. I think.
We could go.
I wouldn't mind cutting a Musashi for another one.
Yeah, we either cut one of the level 0 Finns or a Musashi for another. I'm in agreement there.
All right, let's take a vote then. I vote cut Finn.
I think Musashi.
I think Finn as well.
Okay, so cut a Finn. Add a Luke. So 2 Finn, 4 Luke. All right.
Yep.
Okay, save deck. Cover image.
Whoa, is that new? You can pick your cover image?
This is new. R2D2 runner. We'll call this PGA's Weiss Schwartz Star Wars.
Man, why didn't we run Obi-Wan
Unless-
Kenobi? We could have used him as our picture.
Unless one of you guys has a better name.
That's fine.
I
All
can't think of anything on the spot.
Okay.
Too much pressure.
All
We
right.
need some sort of Pittsburgh pun.
So in terms of our color pie, we have 13 blues, 15 reds, 22 yellows, no greens. And looking at it now after that whole ordeal, we're looking pretty normal. 18 zeros, 9 level 1s, 4 level 2s, 11 level 3s. 4 of our level 3s, which are basically level 2s.
Damn, that's a good looking deck right there.
Yeah, it seems okay at the very least.
Yeah, this is
I'm
Well-
glad that we stuck to 3 colors rather than trying to just cram a 4th color in there when we can get by really well with 3. I don't think there's like a ton of benefit to the 4th color.
Yeah, I really hope this kind of like dragged in a way that I think that in a very natural way, I think that all deck building kind of like comes down to those sort of like, what is it? You're like making cuts at the expense of doing something else.
Mhm.
And it's important to say it's just like, okay, well, we want to be laser focused on our level 1. Why are we playing C3PO? C3PO goes to 6/5, which this card naturally is, and makes it so that we like can't brainstorm or tap down our back row
Right.
on the turn that we play it. So why are we playing it? Like
This seems too greedy.
asking those sort of questions and like coming to those kind of conclusions, I think, is very important.
We're just enticed by the free stock to set up for Darth Vader.
Okay, when we're talking about deck building, what's the first thing people actually do? Let's pop over to a deck search. So the first thing people actually do is type their Neo Standard set into Encore decks and take a look at what people are playing. So we have our deck right here that we just made, and you can go online and favorite that. You can give us a little
what is this Pittsburgh Weiss Schwartz deck? They probably know what they're talking about.
So let's look at some other decks here, and let's see how we did in terms of what other people do. So here we go. Star Wars 4 colors, Solo Vader. This is the same Climax split as we have. And it looks like they're kind of doing sort of the same thing we were thinking of. They're going like 4-1-4. No backups. They're running the Jawas. Huh. This is pretty interesting. So with a set like this that's so lower power, I guess people are kind of like throwing caution to the wind and just going.
It seems
for
pretty
the
like
cards
adequately
that are
powered to
good.
me from the deck we built.
I
Seems like
guess.
pretty
I guess it's
reasonable.
more normalized, right?
I think you just play mono blue, so you can play Obi-Wan Kenobi and call it a day, though.
It does look like most people are going for this like 4 Chewbacca, 4 Han, some amount of other things. Like they're like very minimal red fixing. Oh, what's this?
No one's running
BB-8?
that R2D2 runner that we're running.
Yeah, that's really weird. Did we like
Idiots.
Did we miss something with that? It's just a free runner, right?
Let me reread that. Yeah.
At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this to card to open position on your center stage. Yeah, it's a free runner.
No, yeah, I think everyone else is wrong.
It's a free. But I think this is a valuable part of the process too. So, in reality,
I could dig that. Like maybe you're not going to get a ton of reverses with the Darth Vader, so you go for like Musashis and Jabbas instead. You go for like one Darth Vader and then Musashi or Jabba in your other lanes.
So, in reality, when we're talking about deck building and stuff like that, I mean, I joked about it where people go and they like look up their favorite deck or their favorite set on Encore and like just kind of go from there. It really is an invaluable tool to have something like this. Like there was a brief amount of time where we didn't have a deck building tool. A deck building tool like this is pretty much invaluable for people like getting better at the game because this is what like sort of like the deck that we came up with. As you can see, like it's sort of like the same basic shell from deck to deck.
Yeah.
And it's all about tuning here. So even though we kind of built this list in a vacuum without looking at anything else until afterwards, the general idea was the same. And sort of that's where like the refinement of a deck list comes from. It's sort of like tuning an existing idea to like as best as it can be.
That was beautiful, Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
I agree. I'm in tears.
But
yeah, I like our deck the best.
So yeah, I guess that is where we're gonna end it, guys. I hope this helped people like sort of understand the sort of the deck building process. I know it can be pretty daunting to people, as we said in the beginning. Weiss is sort of a game that doesn't sort of have hard and fast rules for deck building. And it's really sort of like hyper set dependent. I think that if anything that we've highlighted in building the Star Wars deck, how set dependent your deck building can be. And how many factors it can sort of depend on as you're building. So really taking into account like sort of the uniqueness of your set and like where your powerful abilities are. But like we sort of evaluated with the C-3PO, make sure you're not putting in a card just because it sounds like it's super great when in reality what you're looking at is like, you know, a 6/5 body that you wanted to back up. Because you could get the same thing in a much more aggressively quote-unquote costed card. So.
Sometimes you're just stretching yourself too thin for something that's really not all that worth it.
Yeah, color greed in Weiss is like a big problem that a lot of people run into with deck builds. Especially in sets like this where it is sort of like a second string set and you're kind of grasping at straws for cards that are good.
But it's Star Wars and I just want to play all my favorite characters.
Yeah, like
in the same deck.
Like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And R2-D2. And,
they are both blue, so you just play mono blue.
And Luke Skywalker.
There you go. Blue deck.
Blue deck, blue only. Next time on Pittsburgh Weiss Schwartz, blue only. Only blue.
We hate book though.
Is this a Schwartz side set? All right.
Yes.
For standard. Okay. It'd be funny if it was Weiss side, but.
Was.
All right, but yeah, I think that's it. You guys got anything else to add?
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining in. Again, I hope this helped out. And Pittsburgh Weiss Schwartz signing off. Everybody have a good day.